Good evening, good evening, good evening. Sorry I am late. My schedule time was earlier than it was supposed to be earlier. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I got really caught up with work, so I'm starting a little bit late. Not a little bit late, a couple hours late, but hopefully people can join still. I didn't want to just cancel it. I still wanted to do the lesson. So hopefully we get some people to join and we have a good lesson as I organize the table, the desk around me. It's good to see everyone today. Anyone who does join, anybody watching on the replay as well, it's good to see you as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. I did a lesson yesterday as well. It was actually a quite short lesson, and we'll see. We'll judge how today goes. I did start late. I apologize for the noise. My window is open here. It gets quite hot inside, so I'm opening the window. So I apologize for the noise. But yeah, I'll judge to see how things go. And if the lesson is going smooth and we've got a lot of people joining, then I'll make it a long lesson. But, I know I am scheduling this a little bit later than usual. So if we don't have a lot of people join, then we'll probably do a shorter lesson like I did yesterday. So I'm just going to wait a little bit right now. You know what? I'm going to put a message on my community site saying that the lesson has started. So just bear with me as I type this out. All right, almost done. So we're going to be doing a phrasal verb challenge today. So we'll learn some phrasal verbs, and it seems to be the most popular lesson. I keep getting the most requests for that. So I've got 10 new phrasal verbs. We'll go over what each verb means, and then there is a fill in the blank kind of a test for you to figure out if you can remember the phrasal verbs. One sec. Okay, so as always, I am going to put the lesson on the screen, and I will do that right now. Let's get looking at the lesson, and today's phrasal verbs are right there. I do want to say hello to a couple of people. Debbie, how are you here? First lesson here. Is it first sec here? Welcome. Debbie, where are you from, Debbie? And welcome to today's lesson. So, Debbie, today we're going to be doing phrasal verbs, and we got some other people online as well. So everybody, we'll be doing phrasal verbs. These are 10 phrasal verbs that we're going to do. You're from Illinois. You're from Illinois. How's Illinois? I've been there once. Great place. How's Illinois right now? Yeah, I used to live in the U.S. for a long time, so I went to Illinois once. I went to Chicago. Great place, great city. Loved it. It's beautiful and great food. Yeah, I mean the food is amazing in Chicago. Great Italian food. Yeah, very expensive. Debbie, are you originally from Chicago, or are you from somewhere else? And what's your favorite food in Chicago? I'm sure most people, like when you think Chicago, most people always think, there's the Chicago deep style. So you're born and raised in Illinois. Nice, nice. Obviously, deep dish is going to be the most popular food if you're from outside of Chicago. But there's so many great dishes. I love like I don't know what it's like the beef sandwich. I think it's just amazing. Beefs, pizza, and hot dogs. There you go. You answered it for me right there. Yeah, Chicago style dog is good. Chicago style dog is good. Pizza's good. The beef sandwich is amazing. I love that. And I'm looking at your. The picture's really small, but are those two dogs in your profile picture? Are those your dogs? Debbie, I am in Tokyo. I'm in Tokyo, Japan. I just got home. Actually, it's almost 1 a.m. here. Yeah, yeah, they look like Dobermans. I can't really see; it's quite small, but they do look like Dobermans. Yeah, no, I'm in Tokyo. Just got home from work, and it's getting hot here. It's getting hot. It's getting very humid here. What time is it in Chicago right now? It must be in the morning. The weather here, yeah, it's technically spring here, which I guess in Chicago as well. But it's starting to get humid, which means that rainy season is among us and it's going to get really, really bad. All right, there you go. The question 10:50. Okay, 10:50. Okay. So it's 12:53 here, but you're in the morning, I'm at night. So you're just starting your day and I'm ending it. What do you do in Chicago, Debbie? Or I don't not actually not Chicago, in Illinois, sorry. What do you do in Illinois? Debbie, yeah, I mean, most of the times when I do like live lessons here. Uh, trying to live your best life. That's awesome. I think everybody's trying to do that. Hopefully. Yeah, these little live chats are just basically for people trying to improve their English, which you don't have to worry about since you're born and raised in Illinois. Uh, yeah, so it's an English school. I have an English school here in Tokyo, and during COVID, a lot of people couldn't come to the school, so I decided to start a YouTube channel to help people still be able to study, and so that's what we do. It's been fun. A lot of people from obviously here in Japan, uh, a lot of people from all over the world. You just got yourself a house and you're moving tomorrow. That's amazing. Congratulations. It's a big milestone. Getting a house is always it's always amazing. So good luck with the move. Moving sucks, but it's good when you're moving into your own house. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I bought my house here probably 9 years, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. Wow, I've had a house in Tokyo for 10 years, and it's a stressful thing to buy a house But once you get it and once you are about to move in, it's very exciting. I hope you have a great housewarming party. Hope your friends bring a lot of gifts. That's amazing. You set a goal and you're at the final stage. Yeah, that's the best thing. You got to set goals, right? Set little small goals, bigger goals, and just work to achieve it. I actually said that to some students today. 1 foot in front of the other, right? Just 1 foot in front of the other, and get to the first goal you set, and eventually you get to the final goal. Yeah, Tokyo is expensive. It is expensive. Living real estate is very expensive in Tokyo, but in terms of like cost of living and standard of living, it's actually really cheap here now. For the last year, 2 years, the yen, which is the currency here, has just dropped compared to the dollar. So it's really cheap here, actually. No, I would say Chicago. I would say Illinois. I would say parts of the U.S. are way more expensive than Tokyo. We have a lot of tourists right now in Tokyo because the yen is so cheap, and there are certain restaurants like people will go to eat here, and I'll just give you an example. Ramen. The noodles are really popular here, and a lot of tourists will go to really famous ramen shops, like Michelin rated ramen shops, and they'll spend, like, I would say the equivalent is probably like $20-$30 for a bowl of ramen. And most people who spend $20 for lunch or for dinner on a bowl of ramen, they're very happy. Everyone's like, wow, it's so cheap, it's amazing. You would never really find a Japanese person spending $20-$30 on a bowl of ramen. A bowl of ramen max price is $10. Most people eat lunch here for probably like $5. So it's become really cheap to live in Japan. Real estate is expensive though, yeah, but probably relative to where you are. So I think my area, different depends where you live, but I don't know what the average price of a house in Tokyo would be. It could be $1 million, it could be less than $1 million, it could be 200,000, 500,000, but it depends where you are in Tokyo. Since the done buying things have hit the roof. Yeah. Yeah, I used to live in LA for the longest time. So yeah, when things get expensive in the US, things are expensive. But yeah, we're lucky right here now. It's really cheap right now. But I went back to the US last year, and it was crazy. It was crazy with the really cheap yen and then really expensive costs of living in LA. It was like crazy. Everything was so expensive. I was ready to go back. Do I feel safe in Tokyo? Yeah, I mean, Tokyo is. I've lived in a bunch of different cities, 3 countries, and easily, hands down, Tokyo is the safest, by far, the safest place I've ever lived. There is very, very, very little crime here. There is very little danger here. Again, it's 1 a.m. I just walked home, and there's never ever any sense of you're gonna be in danger here. People are very, very passive. They're very friendly here. There's very little crime. I the other day I saw a friend. He forgot to close his car door, and he parked his car outside like as normal, had his wallet in the car, and nothing. Woke up in the morning, everything was still there. Uh, People just don't steal or take stuff here. If it doesn't belong to them, they just leave it be. Worst case scenario, they're going to take it to the police station and say, "Listen, I found this. Someone dropped it." Yeah, very, very, very safe here. Gasoline is over $6 per gallon. Yeah, that's why I bought a hybrid. Gas here is, I would say it's probably $4 a gallon. I would say here. Yeah, yeah. It's cost of living is quite here. Yeah, I think the smaller the town, the better the crime rate, right? I think that's usually the sense back home. The smaller the town, the friendlier the people, the less crime. I think Tokyo is an anomaly. It's a city, not only Tokyo, like Singapore as well, is really, really safe. It's just safe. I don't know why it's that safe here, but it is very, very safe. And then I grew up in a small town. Yeah, I grew up in a small town in Canada. Super, super safe. So I think back home, the smaller town, the better the standard of living. Town you're moving to has less than 500 people. Okay, well, that's good. You're going into a community, right? You'll be able to make a lot of friends, and that'll be good. Yeah, I had a gas car, but I changed to hybrid just because I was spending so much money on gas, and now I fill up my car once a month. So for me, the hybrid works. I still like to drive long distances, so I still get the opportunity to do that. I don't have to worry about charging an EV. And but thing is, in Japan as well, if you want to travel long distance, there's so many bullet trains here, and it's really convenient. You don't have to worry about driving. You just sit back, relax. You got your own private seat, and you just they take you to your destination. It's amazing. Yeah, that's the thing, right? The hybrids, if they catch fire, that's crazy. That's really, really crazy. Yeah, I saw that on the news actually. My hybrid goes same speed as my gas car went. There's no difference. In fact, my hybrid's quicker. Probably not faster, but it's quicker. And for me, because I live in Tokyo and I need to maneuver through traffic a lot, there's like 30 million people here. So the quicker the car for me, the better. Yeah, yeah. Our society, that you hit it on the nail there. We are a society that loves to dispose of everything. Right? As long as it's convenient, we that's the way we'll go. You're exactly right. So I think it'll be nice for you to move into like a small town, right? I think it'll be you can get back to sort of the grassroots, back to community, back to making like real relationships. Yeah, the electric cars. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Last year when I was in LA, every rental car was all EV. So yeah, I have no idea. That's what they're trying to mandate the cars. Like, I believe in Japan it's 2035. 2035 they want to have all EV cars here. Oh, you sell honey. Wow, I wish you would sell it here. You would make a lot of money in Japan. People love honey here, and they sell it for so much money. Certain commodities here, certain things they sell for a lot. Certain things are really cheap. It's weird, but honey is really expensive here. Thank you, Deb. No, you were. It was great to meet you as well. I'm glad that you stopped by, and I'm glad you talked. I really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I got to talk to someone from back home, and I congratulations on the new house. I wish you the best of luck. It's exciting time for you. It's great. That's great. I hope you stop by again and say hello. I know this is not probably a typical channel that you would come to, since we're just trying to study English here. But yeah, no, I really love talking with you. It was great. Hugs back to you. Have a great day, Debbie. Thank you. Okay, well, yeah, all right. Yeah, you love to learn, but you speak English, so I don't know how much of a help I can be to you. Maybe we'll have you on, Debbie, as a guest instructor instead. That would probably work better. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I plan to. I plan to. Well, probably another half hour. I'll go to bed. I have another big day tomorrow, but yeah, I don't sleep much. So thank you so much, Debbie. So I guess we should get into the lesson here, and we're doing phrasal verbs. And today we're not going to worry about any grammar. It's just how do we improve your vocabulary? You know, how do we learn words that help us speak more fluently? So I got 10 words that we're going to go over here. And these are all words that are commonly used now. They're not going to be old phrasal verbs. They're going to be common here. We'll go through each one individually. We'll go through each one. We'll go over the meaning of it. And at the very end, I'll give you like a fill in the blank test, not test, but fill in the blank exercise where you can choose one of the words to put in those sentences. The first word we have here is blow up. Blow up. Now, there's obviously a lot of phrasal verbs have multiple meanings, and blow up is one. Blow up will have a very literal meaning, which means to explode, Or if it's a person, if a person blows up, that means they get very, very angry. But recently, blow up, we can use it when we talk about social media, right? A lot of times people will say that, his channel blew up, or he blew up, or she blew up. Basically, that means they became very, very popular. Maybe a video became popular, it became viral. So we say it blew up. So it's kind of like an explosion, but it's their popularity has exploded. So this one has a few meanings here. So One just means, the base meaning is going to mean to explode. All right, to explode. Now, the explosion, this could mean it's an actual bomb. This could mean a person's anger, or it could mean their popularity. All right, so 3 separate meanings for blow up. Next one is break down. Break down. What do you guys think break down means? Now, basically, like if I gave you an example sentence here, let's say my example sentence was, let's say that my car unfortunately broke down. My car unfortunately broke down. What do you guys think that means? Okay. Now, usually if we're going to talk about breakdown, we're usually, one thing just to note, it's generally we're talking about a machine. We're talking about a machine. We're not talking about, we could talk about people sometimes, but the general sense is what we're talking about a machine. And if something is breaking down, it's going to stop working. It's going to stop working. So my car broke down means my car stopped working. Now, there are some cases where we could say, like, somebody's body is breaking down. That means their body is no longer working the same as maybe when they were younger. So, when we're younger, we can run, jump, and do so many different things. But as we get older, our muscles, our joints are not working the same. So we say it's breaking down. Okay, but in most cases, breakdown is going to be talking about a machine. All right, so let's look at the next one. We've got the phrasal verb catch on. Catch on. Now, the regular meaning of catch, just catch, it means to, physically a ball or something is coming, you're going to catch it. But here we've added the word on as well. So you're going to catch on. All right, what does that mean? Catch on. All right, so simple meaning of catch on means you're going to understand something, or you're going to realize something. Okay, you're gonna either you understand something or you realize something. All right, so to catch on means to understand or realize. All right, and next we are going to be looking at do over. Do over. What does do over mean? I always do this. I always do have a do over. So basically, what this is saying is that I'm going to repeat something. That means I'm going to do something again because I want to improve. Okay, I'm going to do something again because I want to improve. All right, when I golf, I love golfing. So if I hit a shot and it's terrible, like it goes into the water or it goes into the bushes, then what I'll say to my friends is like, oh, can I get a do-over? Can I get a do-over? So do-over here, we can use it as a verb, or we can use it as a noun as well. So a do-over means it's something that you do again. Okay, so next is call off. What does call off mean? And I'll give you an example sentence here. Let's say, all right, let's say this sentence here. She suddenly called off the wedding. She suddenly called off the wedding. All right, so if you call off something, that means you're going to cancel something. Okay, so there is a plan. You have a plan to do something, and then you cancel it. So you cancel something that was planned. So she called off the wedding. She canceled the wedding. Okay. The concert was called off. That means the concert was canceled. All right, so next, let's look at the next verb, settle in. Settle in. All right, what does settle in mean? Sorry, what does settle in mean? Okay, as you guys all know, well, if you're new to the channel, you don't know. If you've visited my channel before, if you've watched these lessons and on replay or live, then you know I live in Tokyo. But I'm not from Tokyo. I'm not from Japan. I'm from Canada. I lived in Canada. I was born and raised in Canada. I lived in the US also for a long time. So when I came to Japan, all right, so here's my example sentence. This is a true story as well. When I came to Japan, it took me a while to settle in. It took me a while to settle in. All right, so basically, to settle in, what this means is that you're going to become comfortable living in a new environment. All right, so to become comfortable living in a new environment. All right, so to become comfortable in a new environment. So at the beginning, when I was in Japan, everything was new. Everything was a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit strange, a little bit scary. I was nervous, but after a while, I settled in. So I became comfortable. All right, now let's look at the next one. Let down. Let down. Let down is a great one. All right, let down. And I'll give you an example sentence here. Let's see. What if I said this sentence here? Okay, so here's an example sentence. I thought I could trust my colleague. Colleague means your coworker. I thought I could trust my coworker, my colleague, but he let me down. Okay, so basically in this situation, Caleb, how are you, buddy? How are you? How are you doing today? Fail to support? Yeah. And not even fail to support. It's just they disappoint you. They disappoint you. So I think it's a little bit bigger scope. Just basically means to disappoint someone. I am good, Caleb. I'm doing well. Thank you. It's late here. I started way later than I usually do on a Thursday. I just had to work a little bit late. I had to meet a client today, a customer, one of the people I teach, like a company that I teach. I had to meet their staff today, HR. So that meeting took a while, so I didn't get started early. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Caleb. So yeah, let down can have kind of a wider range. It's not only they fail to support you, maybe they just disappoint you. They do something, and then you feel, oh, like I feel disappointed because they did that. Okay. Now, what about the next one? Look up to. Look up to. So, for example, if I have the sentence, most children look up to their parents. Now, look up, literal meaning of look up is this. You're going to look up. Okay. We're not talking about that. We have a special meaning for look up. Now, you're not physically looking up. So, to look up has a different meaning. So, most children look up to their parents. All right. So in this situation, to look up to someone, that means you admire them. You admire them or respect them. It's kind of like a role model, someone that you admire. Caleb, perfect. Admire someone. Perfect. All right, next we've got put up with. Put up with. So let's make a sentence here. Let's make a sentence. Okay, here's my example sentence. My neighbors are noisy. My neighbors are noisy, but I put up with it. What does this mean? My neighbors are noisy, but I put up with it. Okay, so basically what this means is that you're gonna have some patience, right? Something you don't like something, or you don't like something that someone does, but you don't say anything. You just have patience. You suck it up, kind of thing. What we'll say is you tolerate it. Okay, so you tolerate or endure, have patience when something is unpleasant. Okay, and it doesn't have to be only people. Like it can be something. I had let's say I was injured and I needed some stitches, and I put up with the pain. I tolerated it. Caleb, yeah, to accept an unpleasant situation. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, and the last one is take off. Take off. What does take off mean? And we're not going to talk about the airplane. An airplane taking off means it goes into the sky. That's not what we're going to talk about. Let's talk more kind of recent, current use of this phrasal verb. In 2024, take off, we use this a lot. So, for example, if I say my YouTube channel suddenly took off. My YouTube channel suddenly took off. So I'm very happy. All right. So basically here, if something takes off, that means it becomes very popular. Okay. And it becomes very popular quickly in a short time. It just, boom, takes off. So, something is the same, then boom, it takes off. Okay, so that's 10 phrasal verbs, 10 very, very useful phrasal verbs that we would use in the 2024. Like, this is definitely 2020's phrasal verbs. They're not old. They are very common. They're very popular to use now. What we'll do next, before we get into the exercise, let's just quickly have a quick review. Blow up. Blow up. It means to explode physically, literally explode, like a bomb. It means to explode in popularity. In popularity, right? So there's different meanings of blow up. Break down means something stops working. My car broke down. It stops working. Catch on means I understand something. Do over means to repeat something to improve. Call off is cancel. Settle in means become comfortable living somewhere. Let down means to disappoint. Look up to means to respect or admire someone. Put up with means to tolerate, have patience with someone. Take off means to become very popular, very successful in a short time. All right, so those are the 10 phrasal verbs we have. Next, what we'll do is we're going to have some sentences. First sentence here, I'll make it bigger so it's easier for you to see. Number one says, the manager decided to something the meeting due to unforeseen circumstances. Okay, what phrasal verb will you use to complete this sentence? So the manager decided to something the meeting due to means because of. Unforeseen means we can't imagine. We couldn't see this as a future event. It was difficult to imagine this. So this is an unforeseen circumstance. All right. So postpone. The manager decided to postpone the meeting due to unforeseen circumstances. That is a great answer. Caleb. Perfect answer. But if we use one of the phrasal verbs we learned today, then a different answer, and I'm going to put your answer up here too, Caleb, because it is correct. Your answer definitely is correct. Okay. Another answer, if we're looking at the idioms, the manager decided to call off the meeting due to unforeseen circumstances. That means they've canceled, not postpone means we will do it another day. Cancel means, well, it's done, it's gone. Okay, so let's look number 2. After moving to the new city, it took her a few months to something. So after moving to the new city, it took her a few months to something. All right, Caleb, settle in. Perfect. All right, so yeah, when you move to a new city, yeah, it takes a couple of months to settle in. Number 3, despite numerous attempts to fix the engine, it continued to what can we say here? Despite numerous attempts, many times I'm trying to fix this engine, but it continues to something. What do you think this means here? Okay, so fix the engine, that means something's wrong with the engine. Now, if I use the word despite, that means the second part of the sentence is the opposite, right? So I attempt to fix the engine. That's a very good thing. Good thing. So next part must be minus. It continued to break down. All right, so despite numerous attempts to fix the engine, it continued to break down. Okay, perfect. Next, number 4. When he realized his mistake, he wanted to something the entire project from the beginning. When he realized his mistake, he wanted to something the entire project from the beginning. Okay, so he made a mistake. It's maybe a big mistake. He's doing a project. It's a big mistake. Maybe he wants to begin from the beginning. Begin from the beginning, or do it again. Try again. Okay, so what we can say here, when he realized his mistake, he wanted to do over the entire project from the beginning. Okay, perfect. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. Let's look. Next, number 5. Her behavior in the meeting really something since I expected better from her. All right, so her behavior in the meeting really, what I would say here, it's going to disappoint you. So it's let me down. Okay, her behavior in the meeting really let me down. since I expected better from her. Okay, so let's do 2 more and then 3 for homework, okay? 2 more, 3 for homework. Number 6, it took a while for the new fashion trend to something, but now it's everywhere. All right, so what are we talking here? What can we say? It took a while for the new fashion trend to catch on. All right, so it took a while for the new fashion trend to catch on, but now it's everywhere. Okay, so catch on means it becomes popular. Take off is also good. Yeah, it took a while for the new fashion trend to take off, but now it's everywhere. I like that. Take off is great, Caleb. Nice, perfect. Okay, that was number 6, right? Okay, perfect. Let's look at number 7. 8, 9, 10 will be for homework. Number 7 says, I always something my older brother. He's been a role model for me. What's your answer for this? I always something my older brother. He's been a role model for me. All right, so here, what we'd say is going to be look up to. I always look up to my older brother. He's been a role model for me. So I always admire, respect my older brother. Okay, so what I want to do for the rest, I'm going to make this smaller so it fits in. 8, 9, 10. I do not know if you guys can read that. It is quite small, but you do have the ability to zoom things in. 8, 9, 10 is for homework. 8, 10 is for homework. What we can do right now is I can make each one a little bigger. Just read it for you. The event really started to something once the keynote speaker began his presentation. All right, number 9. The CEO's speech was so inspiring that it seemed like the entire world, or the entire team would something with renewed energy. And number 10, although the task was tedious, we had to something it to meet our deadlines. All right, so you guys have 3 additional questions. It's your homework. If you guys have any questions about today's lesson, make sure you leave it in the comment section. During the replay, if you're watching this and you have questions, again, leave it in the comment section. I always answer everybody's comments, questions, and requests. All right, guys, so we got 10 new phrasal verbs today. Make sure you remember it. Caleb, good to see you again. Debbie, it was great to see you as well. Until the next lesson, I'll make this a little bit bigger. That's number 8. That's number 9. Just pause your video to see it. This is number 10. All right, so 3 questions for homework, and I look forward to getting all of your answers. All right, guys, that's it for today. It was good to see some new people. It was good to see all of you. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, make sure you comment. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and see you in the next lesson. Bye.